everyone to my second part of my Uplink playthrough slash walkthrough slash guide, whatever you want to call it. This is Arcadia Vice, and this time I hope to show you how to completely break the game by giving yourself so much money you'll be able to get all the best upgrades right from the get-go and have a much easier time with the rest of the game. First step, go to our internal services system. Now, we need 10,000 credits. As you see, we're a bit short right now for the piece of software we need, so let's try and get a bit of money. As you see, we've got a new mission type here involving university degrees. This is from the rank we gained in the last part, and that was completely wrong. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. The problem if you're not paying full attention, it's very easy to misclick something. Okay, that enough? Not quite. Just one of you. Okay, that should be enough. Yep, there we go. Exit BBS, software upgrades, proxy disable, V5, done. Now, our next step is to do something rather the opposite of what we'd normally want to do. First we need a certain link. The International Social Security Database. Now we want to get caught hacking into their system. Yes, you heard me right. We want to get caught hacking. I know, sounds completely ridiculous, right? But instead of ending your game like most would do, the Social Security Database instead challenges you to pay a fine. This gives us an opportunity to hack a bank early and, in doing so, gain a massive boost to our skill. We can't gain money yet, but this allows us to get to a way where we can get the money we need. So, get the link for the bank that we need to pay the fine to. Connect to the bank normally first. Create a new account. Enter whatever you like for the details. Just do this quickly. There we go. That just makes the next step a bit easier for us. Now, find where our bank is there. Load our bounce queue. Connect. Now this next bit we're going to have to be pretty quick for. Manage existing account. We enter the account number for the one we're meant to pay the fine into first. Get our password breaker ready. And our proxy disable. Now start the proxy disable, but wait for the password breaker until you're around the sort of X or Y of the disable. That's normally when the monitor will catch you and the trace will start. So it just gives you a bit of a headway on the proxy disable. You need this to be able to transfer money and to delete statements, which is a very important part of hacking a bank. I'll explain why when we're all done, because I've got to be pretty quick with this. Proceed. Transfer money. 816 920 168 968, I believe that is. Have we got this right? 750 no, 60 426. Transfer 1,000 credits. Did we get it? Yes, good. View statement. Now you need to delete the statement to show that you transferred the money. The banks will use that to track you down otherwise. Manage existing account, go to our one. View statement, delete the statement from us. Good. Disconnect. Now before you do anything else, go straight to enter NIC. Remember how I said there's one exception to the passive traces taking a long while? Banks are that exception. Banks take pretty much only a single day to catch you in a passive trace. So once you finish hacking a bank, get rid of the logs quickly, otherwise you will get caught and it will be game over. You really have no leeway with these things. Right, with that done, we connect to the bank normally. Because we're connecting to it normally, they don't recognise it's us, so we're not getting traced. Manage our existing accounts, go to hours, transfer money, enter the details, 816920168 and the account number of 2249210. Transfer the 1000 we just stole from them back to them. Reapply. And there we go, now we don't have to worry about getting caught. And because we've hacked a bank and got rid of passive trace evidence, when the passive trace completes and we're not caught, we now go from novice all the way up to uber skilled in one big leap, because hacking banks successfully gives you the largest amount of experience in the game. This is how you break the game. Now that we've completely leveled up massively, if we actually check the rankings, we've now jumped all the way up to the 4th ranked agent of Uplink. Which is really ridiculous. Now we can go to the mission list and let's see, there we are. Trace a recent balance transfer. This mission is the key to getting tons of money. Just accept it automatically. Now then, we have... Oh, and how about that? It's the bank we've already been to as well, so it's easy enough to access. Now, first we go to the account mentioned in our mission here. Manage existing account. We enter the account number. Now, we don't need the proxy disable for this, because we're just checking some information first. We're not actually doing anything other than breaking in and having a look at something. The proxy disable comes with what we find in the next part. And speaking of which, we want to note down a few bits of information. Right, once we're in, we want to view statement. We want to note down how much money was transferred, the first digits of the bank IP, and the account number. Now if we can just click send with that, that will keep the details handy for us to check. Now again, we've just hacked into a bank, so first thing we want to do is cover our tracks. You don't want to get caught by that really quick passive trace. Now we go to into NIC again. I should have really done this while I was there, but I forgot. Now we check for those digits. 816. And how about that? It's the same bank that we've already been using. Well, that makes it even easier. It means we don't even have to create a new account. We can just use the one we've already got there. Before we do, however, just advance time a bit so that we're not instantly actively traced the moment we log in, rather the moment we connect to the bank. Next we go to manage existing accounts, enter the account number we got, get our password breaker ready, but this time also our proxy disable. Again, start it up, wait until we're around the X and the Y before we start the password break. Go. And before we do our own hacking, But we now have an absolute ton of money. We click our account, so we're using that one. We can now get rid of that link and the social security database for now. Next we go to internal services system and we start buying a whole ton of stuff. So first we go to gateway upgrades. Now the best one you'll normally have in the game is this one, the Trinity here. I do have this Ultima 1200, that's what I got from the mod. I won't be using that for this playthrough because it's even more broken really. So we'll be using the Trinity gateway here, which allows us for 8 CPUs, 3 security slots, which is rather ridiculous because there's only 2 security upgrades in the game you can actually use. Whole ton of memory capacity and only an 8 gigaquads a second bandwidth. 10 is the maximum, but 8's pretty much good enough for whatever you need in the game. So choose to upgrade. Now the way gateways work is it takes a while for them to prepare it. Oh, and because we hacked a bank and didn't get caught again, we've jumped up to Elite now. So if we actually go to the internal services system now and check our ranking, we're now the top ranked agents in Uplink after only hacking 2 different things. So we get up there. Rather ridiculous, isn't it? But hey, that's how this game works if you know how to break it. So now we just advance time a bit. There we go. Now our gateway is ready. Now to switch to it you have to log out by quitting out and log back in. There we go. We are now on our new gateway. And if we view our gateway, there it is. So now we have to upgrade the hardware. So back to the internal services system. Log in. Go to hardware upgrades, processors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want 8 of the best CPUs. We want the 8 gigaquad modem. And we want, just have a quick check. Right. We want 1 8 gigaquad to finish up that first bank, and then 3 of those to finish up the rest. And then I just like to, you don't really need these, but I like to buy them just for a little extra insurance. The 2 security modules. Advanced, so we start getting messages through, they start preparing everything. Let's type more. Right, now the next message we get when things come in, there we go. There's the CPUs. Bar here that turns yellow when somebody's sort of passing by near it. That can be anyone getting, it changes colour basically as people get closer. When it starts getting yellow or red, you might want to start thinking about using the gateway nuke, because that could mean that the authorities are about to get you. If you manage to successfully nuke your gateway, you have to start over, but you don't get caught, so it's not a game over. And in this game, a game over ends your account. That's it, you have to start a brand new account, so the gateway nuke can really help out. Now if we look at our gateway, there it is, all stacked up, all our upgrades, and as you see our memory banks are now much bigger than they were. Oh, and to show you how much quicker the things are, boom, boom, deleted in no time flat. We don't need proxy disable anymore because we're going to get something even better. Going to our Uplink internal services system, software upgrades, we want the level 2 voice analyzer. You don't really need the trace tracker if you know how traces work and if you're quick, but I like to get it just so I know for sure. We want the level 5, version 5 proxy bypass, the version 5 monitor bypass, IP probe can be handy for gauging security. We don't really need that because we're going to have the ability to foil all the best security anyway. Pardon me. IP lookup can be handy for getting links if you only have an IP and it's not on into an IC. It's rare, but it comes up every so often. We want the HUD LAN view for when we're doing LAN missions. Map show trace, not really needed, but it just makes the traces on your map turn red as the traces go through them. Don't really need the IRC client, I've never really used it. If anyone out there actually knows of a good way to use it, if you can get anything out of it, let me know. We want connection analysis, that allows us to use our bypasses. We want the version 5 firewall bypass. Defrag's rather nifty, but it's not really needed. It just gets rid of empty space in your memory banks to make things a bit more efficient. Don't need the dictionary hacker because we got the better password breaker. We want the version 3 decipher and the version 7 decryptor for decrypting any files. Now we've still got a few missions here left to do, so let's show them off and how our upgrades make things so much easier. So first, let's do these international academic database ones, where you have to change the basically academic details of a certain individual, either adding degrees to them or taking them away for a lower one. So load up our bounce. Find the international academic database. In fact, let's find it first. There you are up there. It's already part of our bounce, but we just quickly reboot. Bring up our connection analysis. As you see, and I didn't actually buy them. Them in hell. Come on, game. I'm sure I clicked how to purchase those things. This can happen sometimes. The game misreads your clicks. So you click purchase, but it thinks you clicked like next version or something like that. So we got our voice analyzer. We've not got the LAN tools apparently, so we need to get those. But I'll get them later probably. Got our log ones at least. Oh yeah, may as well activate our trace tracker while we're here as well. We've got the ability to use it without this issue now. So let's just quickly actually purchase these. Ready for later. This game can be very finicky about button positions sometimes. Right, that should be it. Yes, we've got them now. Good. Right, let's try that again. Because we didn't try to hack in, they won't try to trace us. So, our connection analysis. Oops, no, proxy bypass. Monitor bypass. That means when we're cracking our password, they won't start tracing us. Now, normally if you log in with an admin account, you would be traced, but because we only need to alter records, we don't need to go into logs or anything. We can just go into a read-write account. Now watch how much quicker this is. Yeah, much better, isn't it? On a read-write account, they don't trace us. So we have all the time we need to do all the changes we want. So first we have Duncan Gibbs. Right. So we need to give him a university degree, which is a graduate qualification of mechanical engineering. Class 1. That should be it. We can check. Yep, there we go. That's that mission done. Now our next target is Alex Stacey. Bailey, get out. Go on. Go on, Bailey. Out. Go on. Sorry about that. I'll put Bailey getting in the room there. Sniffing around where he's not supposed to. Do that. And there you go. That's your academic database ones. Now, even though they didn't actively trace us, they will realise things were changed, and once they do, they'll start to passive trace. So you still want to delete your logs. Oh, and as you can see, Internet IC, no security at all. Crazy. Delete, delete, delete. There we go. And that one, the delete files, you've already seen how that's done, so I'll spare you that one. I'll do that off screen, and when we come back, I'll start showing off some of the other mission types. This has been Arcadia Vice. I hope you've enjoyed. Good night.